Hello everyone, my name is Fiona Crossman and this is Peter. You all know Peter, alright, and today we're going to do some EzeeSport skills and fitness with you, and we were supposed to go live, but it hasn't quite worked out, as you realize, so we are sorry we're a little bit late, but this is a totally unedited video for you that you can do along with us. And I think the good news is that you'll be able to just pause at any time now and keep on practicing the skills. So we're doing a few basketball skills with you, and then we're going to end off with using the EzeeBats. So for today, the equipment that you're going to need for today is going to be a big bouncy ball, right? And then you're going to need a racket and a foam ball that you can use, or if you happen to have an EzeeBat, you can use that as well. Peter's showing you that. He's even got a table tennis bat, so some of you might have that lying around the house. Okay, and of course we also asked you to get 3 items of different colors. So you're going to need something that's blue, something that's yellow, and something that's red for the first game that we're going to do, the warm-up game. So I'm going to hand these over to Peter, and then I'm going to explain the warm-up game to you. So the warm-up game is called Fruit Salad. It's a game that we've played with the children in our classes, but normally there are a whole lot of kids, so we've adapted this so that you can do it at home on your own. So this is going to be a challenge against yourself, see how quickly you can react and do things. Okay, so what I've done is I'm just going to tilt this so you can see. I'll put some markers on the ground for Peter. You might have to bring that blue one in a bit so that you can see the blue. Okay, so blue is going to be the blue marker is going to be for blueberry, the red one's going to be strawberry, and the yellow one is going to be banana. So you can't see Peter's blue one. I'm going to call out a fruit. He doesn't know what fruit color fruit I'm calling out, and you don't know that either. So you're going to need to do this with him. So hopefully you're all set up to go. And so he's going to have to react very quickly, go and touch the color spot that we've got. You might have something else, and then he's got to get back to his position after touching it, and I'm going to try and trick him and trick you by calling out different things. Okay, so we'll make it easy to start with. Okay, so Peter, bananas, blueberries, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, blueberries, apples, not apples, strawberries, blueberries, no, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, bananas, bananas, lemons, bananas, blueberries, strawberries, strawberries, bananas, pumpkins. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed doing that warm-up with Peter, and of course if you spread the color objects that you have further apart and listen to my instructions and do this again, then you'll be able to move a bit quicker as well, and yeah, have more fun doing that. Okay, so we're going to move on to our first skill, which is also just kind of like a little bit of a warm-up. So you're going to need to get your big ball. I'm going to grab a big ball, Peter. Move this out the way. Right. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're just going to move the ball forward, but using the tips of our fingers. Okay, so this is just getting us ready. So we're going to hold the ball in front of us like this, and then we're just going to move it from side to side, moving forwards, using the tips of our fingers to move the ball forward. Okay, Peter's turn. Good. And he's taking it back again. Okay, so do you want to do this with us now? You ready? You got your ball? Okay, Okay, and it's good control. You want to keep it going from one hand to the other. Just using the tips of your fingers to move the ball from one hand to the other going forwards. And let's go back again. Okay, all right. Okay, and let's do that again. Tips of your fingers. You might have more space and be able to go further than we are. Okay, and I'm going to go backwards. Peter's going forwards, but I'm going backwards now with my ball like this, using my fingers. Okay, so that must have been pretty easy for you to do. So we're going to make it a little bit more challenging now. And you're going to see if you can move the ball in and out of your legs as you move forward, using the tips of your fingers again. Do you want to try that, Peter? I'll show them. So it's just in. So as you're walking and stepping, all right, so I think it might be better if we show you from this side. So Peter's doing that again. Okay. And I'm going to show you from a different angle, going forwards. Oopsie, just want to fall over. Okay, it's a little bit trickier, moving the ball in and out. So it's good for coordination. Okay, good coordination skills. So we're going to keep going, practicing this, moving the ball in and out of our legs, moving forwards. Okay, okay, good. Okay, so how did you get on with that? Were you able to do it? All right, so we're going to move on to the next skill now, which is bouncing. And when we're coaching younger children bouncing, we always make sure that they stretch their arms away from their bodies, okay, and release the ball, push the ball down with star fingers. All right. So with you, you probably all raring to go. You can get the ball out in front of you and straight away start pushing the ball down. But what you want to do is make sure you set up properly. So we're in the front on power stance, okay? And then we're going to see if we can push the ball down like this, okay? All right, so do you want to do that? Just in front of you. Okay, so also important is that you want to use star fingers, and you want to be putting your fingers on the ball, and you've got to make sure that there's a gap between your hand and the ball. If you can see, there's quite a big gap here. So I'm not putting my whole hand on the ball to push it down. I'm actually using my fingers. So you've got much better control then when you do it that way. All right, so we're going to do something a little bit different now. I'm just turning the camera a little bit. All right, we're going to do low bounces to practice this skill. So what you're going to do is you're going to get down low, all right, and you're just going to push the ball down. Down, down, down. Keep going on the ground. Okay, if you make a mistake and the ball runs away, then just pick it up. Start again. If you're finding it really hard, you can stretch your arms away from your body and then release the ball and push down. Okay, and get into a nice rhythm, just pushing the ball down. Okay, good. All right, if you're finding that easy, we're going to move on to your least favorite hand and see if you can push the ball down with your least favorite hand. So let's go. Down, down, down. Least favorite hand. Here we go. Very good. All right. Okay, now we're going to add an extra challenge by going forwards and backwards, low bouncing. All right, using your favorite hand, going forwards, and when you come back, you can use your least favorite hand. Ready for this, Peter? Yeah. Should we go? So get down low, and we go. And then taking it back. Let's see if we can go faster. Should we try and see if we can go a bit faster? Moving quicker. And moving backwards quicker. And let's go again. And backwards. Okay. And if that's too tricky, just slow it down again. Take it slow, slow, moving. Take it low, low. Okay. And then back. Right. There we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the V bounce. Also keeping it low again, all right? But we're going to be moving the ball from one hand to the other. So in the beginning we did that little skill where we just rolled the ball from one hand to the other, moving forwards and backwards. This time we're going to bounce it, pushing it from this side and then back from that side. So we're making like a V pattern when we bounce. So it's like that. Pushing it, okay, but take it low. Again, whoops. Pushing it from one hand to the other. Okay, that was quite fun. Enjoy doing that? Keep going, Peter. Let's see. Nice, nice control. Okay, just take it slow. You're back into control the board. All right. Should we do it from that side? So we're doing that angle. Okay, ready, and let's go. Found that one a little harder. Okay, so how did you get on with that one? Did you enjoy doing that? Good. Okay, so we're going to just put in a bit of fitness now to make sure your bodies stay nice and warm while we're doing all our skills. So Peter's going to show you how to do that. All right.
Okay, so this one is called line jumps. So you can have a rope or a piece of string or a toy or anything like that. I'm just going to use one of the spots and I'm going to put it down on the ground. And what I'm going to do is just jump from one side to the other. What we do in squash training is sometimes we set a target of 1 minute. How many of these can you do in a minute? And you probably could do 2 per second if you're doing it really, really quickly. So in a minute, you could probably do 120. So I'm going to challenge you on that one. For 1 minute, let's see how many line jumps you can do. I'm going to count. And then maybe Fiona can just keep the stopwatch going over there and we can see how many line jumps we can do in a minute. Okay, so she's just setting up my phone. And I've got, thing is to jump with both feet. So both feet are going over the target. And I always just think that just pretend you're jumping over something that you can't land on. Maybe you're going to get electric shock if you land in the middle on your spot, okay? All right.
Okay, I'm getting there.
So Fiona's going to tell me when to go. She's setting up the stopwatch.
Okay, ready, and go. Show me the time, if you can see it.
1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 30.
Wow.
40, 50, 60, 70.
So you've done half a minute. Keep going.
80, 90, 100, 10, 20,
10 seconds left.
30, 40,
And stop.
145.
Wow. That's really good. Sure. Okay. How did you get on with that? That's quite a lot. That's quite a lot of things to do in a minute. It must have got your heart rate going. I'm sure it did.
It's a very, very tiring exercise.
Sure. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next skill, which is basketball shooting. Okay, so Peter, do you want to just grab this ball? Okay. So for basketball shooting, the most important thing with all skills actually is to get your setup correct right from the beginning. So we're going to get into the frontal power stance, and sometimes it helps if you just jump up in the air, and as your feet land, is probably about the distance that you need to have your feet apart. You don't want to have them too wide, okay, and you can't have them, don't want to have them together because then you are going to be off balance. Just a little bit apart, knees bent. All right. Now for our hand setup, you're going to take your hand back so that your fingers are pointing almost backwards past next to your head, and then you're going to place the ball there on your hands, like that, on the seat of your hand. And again, I just want to show you that there's a gap between my hand and the ball. So my fingers are controlling this ball, okay? And then I'm going to use my other hand just to gently hold it there, just for a bit of support, all right? And then I'm going to bend my knees, I'm going to push the ball up, and when I push it up and I release the ball, can't really see this, my wrist flicks so that my hand comes over, all right? So Peter's going to show you as well.
So there's the seat.
Right. Good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some partner work. Peter's going to shoot the ball to me, and then I'm going to shoot it back to him. Now we've got a little bit of a challenge because we've got a very low ceiling, so we can't actually push the ball too high. But obviously if you can do this outside, that'll be amazing. Otherwise just be aware of the space that you've got in your home where you're doing it. Okay, so we're going to get into our frontal stance. Okay, Peter's going to shoot the ball to me. I'm going to catch it, and I'm going to shoot it back to him. Okay. Cool. That's very nice. Well done. Yes. Okay. I went a bit high there. Oh, I'm just skimming the ceiling of ours. Okay. Good. Very nice. Okay. Remember, you make sure. In fact, we've actually gone. Both of us have gone into. Even though we're in the frontal stance, we've actually taken one leg a bit back, just to get a bit. I just feel a bit more comfortable like that with my shooting. Alright, so let's do that again. Let's see if we can do 5 good ones in a row with our partners, okay? Here we go. Cool. Thank you. Alright. I find also quite important is just to have some movement in your knees, because if you use your legs as well to stretch up and push the ball up in the air, it also helps a lot. Okay. So, how many did you get to? Forgot to count.
4 each.
5 and 5. Okay, so hopefully you got that one and enjoyed doing that. We are going to do a little drill now. So we're going to put the bouncing and the shooting together. So I'm going to get Peter to start in the corner over there. And I'm going to start with you actually, because I'm going to bounce the ball.
You go around.
I'm going to bounce the ball around in a circle. I'm going to get to this end of the lounge. You might want to come forward because we can't see you. There you go. And then I'm going to shoot the ball to Peter. Then it's going to be his turn and we're going to rotate. Okay, so watch us first and then you can join in. Okay, Peter, if you go. Yes, that's a good. I forgot to say about the jump stop. Okay, oops. Okay, so bouncing. If you want to, you can do those low bounces again. Get to your position, jump, stop, and shoot. Run. Get to your position, jump, stop, and good shooting. Bouncing, I'll take it low, low, jump, stop, and shoot. Going. Jump, stop, and shoot. Good. Here we go. And last one. Alright. So you do one more. Okay, one last one with us. Ready and brilliant. Well done. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed doing that drill. And if you want to, you can pause the video right now and keep on practicing. So Peter's going to do one last fitness exercise with us. Hopefully it's not as intense as the last one. and then we're going to just show you a game that you can play with the EzeeBats or with the racket. All right, or a challenge actually. We might give you a challenge.
Okay, so this is another drill or skill that we do on the squash court. I'm going to get Fiona to time me again, and it's basically jumping jacks or star jumps, but what I normally do is I'll get my hands actually clapping. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, and I'm going to try and see how many of those I can do in a minute.
A minute?
Yeah, so we'll do a minute.
Okay.
Now we should get approximately 1 per second, maybe a few more. So your goal should be round about 60 if you can do that. I think if you are between 5 and 7 years old, if you can try and aim for 40, that'll be good. And anyone older than 7, try and aim for 60. And let's see how we go. Okay, everyone ready? The clapping of the hands is important. We also don't want to be doing this. That doesn't count. It's got to be straight arms and clapping hands. Let's do it properly. Quality, not quantity.
Okay, ready?
All right.
And go.
1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 30.
Okay, so Peter's halfway and you guys are halfway.
40. 50. 60. 67.
So that is kind of...
Okay, so it's quite a tough one, but you know what? It's only 1 minute. So if you do it properly, it will definitely get your heart rate up. And it's a really, really good exercise.
Okay, so we are going to end off. With an EzeeBat challenge, and then you can also turn this into a game. So we'll just first of all show you how you can have your own individual challenge. And I've got an EzeeBat. Some of you might have an EzeeBat at home. If you don't, Peter's got a racquet. He's got a short racquet that he can use. And you know, if you want to challenge, you can even use the table tennis bat, or if you happen to have a bat that you use when you play bat and ball on the beach, then that's also a good one. You might even have a swing ball at home and have a bat from that, so use that if you can. But what we want to do is we want to see how many of these we can do without making a mistake. So it's just little gentle movements, moving your hand up and down like that. All right, so gently.
The idea would be to try and not move, so legs apart, bent knees, nice and stable, okay. Well balanced. And then maybe get your parents to time you and see how many you can do in a minute. How many EzeeUppies can you do in a minute? Okay.
Woo! Okay, if you're finding that really tricky, then to make it a bit easier, what we did earlier with the younger kids is we had a balloon, okay? So that's also quite a bit of fun, is just to use the balloon, all right? And then also if you have a balloon, you could also just use your hands if you don't have a bat, okay? So that's also fun, all right?
What you could also do is just put a piece of string down the middle, and you could play a little match.
Okay.
Hitting the balloon over the string. So we'll just pretend we've got a net in the form of a piece of string.
Yeah, or we could use the markers.
And so I'm going to serve. Obviously, if you've got a big racket in your hand, you've got to be very careful of the lights. So we've got some lights over here. So I recommend a table tennis bat and maybe the EzeeBat for this particular game, just so that you don't get too carried away and end up breaking something in the house.
Should we see if we can have a rally with the ball and not the balloon? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so obviously it's a little bit more challenging if you have a ball, but if you have got somebody who can be a partner with you, then you can do this. Peter's extra challenge because he's only got
using the table tennis bat just so that it's the same size as Fiona's EzeeBat.
You might want to move a little bit further from that. Okay, cool. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20,
21, 22, 23, 24, 5, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 40, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
52 not out.
So you can either do it with the ball or you can get the balloon. The balloon's also a lot of fun if you're really struggling to do a rally with a ball. But you can just start off, see if you can get 3 in a row with whoever's going to be your partner, and then go on to 5. If you can get to 10, then you should be able to carry on going even more than that. Okay, and just take it slow. Don't try and whack the ball too hard. You just want to do it nice and easy. Yeah.
Okay, then a little bit of fun, a bit of a challenge really, is table tennis bats. You've got 2 colours. I've got red and black, and then the EzeeBats have got 2 different colours as well. Okay. So some people do this exercise. They've got the ball, the bat, and they call it fish and chips or bacon and eggs. It's up to you. So it's fish, chips, fish, chips. So you're turning the bat around. You can even just do the colours, red, black, it's up to you. And see how many of those you can do. Once again, I'm not moving around. My legs are completely balanced and stable. I'm not moving. And I'm watching the ball, and they're tiny bounces. I'm not whacking the ball up into the ceiling, because then you're not going to get any continuity at all. Okay. And then from there, you might want to do bacon, eggs, and then on the edge of your bat can be sausage, and the other edge of your bat is chips. So I'll just show you quickly. So it's egg and bacon. We know how to do that, egg and bacon, or let's just do bacon, eggs, eggs, sausage, chips.
Ooh. I
didn't get the chips at the end, so it's bacon, eggs, sausage, chips. There we go. So it's 4 different sides that you're trying to achieve here. Bacon, eggs, sausage, chips. And that's a little bit of a challenge for you. And then, carry on, I've got that one more challenge to show you, and that is the one about keeping the ball in the air while kneeling and then while lying down.
Oh wow, okay.
So Fiona, we'll just tilt the camera to show you what I'm doing, okay? So I'm going to start off standing, and then I'm going to just keep bouncing the ball and going to a kneeling position, and then I'm going to go onto my back. The idea is to get my back of my head just to gently touch the ground, hit the ball while sitting the ball in the air, and then standing up again, okay? So let's see. All right, so this is the easy part. Okay, can you see me? I'm sitting down, carrying on bouncing. And up again.
Well done, Peter.
So that high one that I hit in the air gave me time just to touch the floor gently. You don't want to go crack your skull. Just gently touch the ground, and then gather the ball and then carry on. It's quite a tough exercise, but you know, we've got time at home now, so
keep practicing.
Keep practicing and challenging yourself.
Well, that's all we've got time for today. So thank you for joining us for EzeeSport at Home. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel, because in that way we can actually do lives. Without us having 1,000 people on our channel, we can't do live videos, unfortunately. And then we also will keep you updated on Facebook and Instagram of when we're going to put videos out again. But thank you for joining us today. We had lots of fun, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Cheers, guys.